Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? Hello, hello. Good day to you. What is up? Um, man, we should be finishing up Dead Space today. Thought we were gonna do it yesterday. I was pushing for it yesterday. We had a really nice long stream, and we were really on our way to finishing Dead Space, and we had a nice bug that just prompted me to go ahead and say we would finish it today. So that is what we're gonna do. We're gonna finish Dead Space 1 today. We will move on to Dead Space 2 tomorrow. Dead Space 1 will be finished today, as long as there are no more bugs that hinder our progress. So that's the play. That's the play. We'll probably get in a little of just some shatter lines, something like that, to fill in time this the rest of the day today. Something chill to hang out with between finishing Dead Space today and starting Dead Space 2 tomorrow. Okay, so just something nice and easy to transition our way into tomorrow. All right, but that's the play. That's the play. So let's go ahead and do what we do and get over here and start this video gaming news segment. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's get that death counter off there. Don't worry about that. Not yet. Not yet. All right, let's go. So let's see what we can find. Guessing we're probably going to have some news about Overwatch 2. There it is. Activision Blizzard's Overwatch 2 launches in boost to video game lineup. Yeah. So the PS Plus free games for October now available. Yo, what's up, my dude gamer? How you doing, man? How you feeling, buddy? Yo, yo, yo. Okay, CD Projekt Red, quite often referred to as CDPR, right? Announces new Cyberpunk game, multiple new Witcher games, which we had already heard they had not announced all of the Witcher games or anything, but they had definitely officially announced that they were working on basically an entirely new. They had plans for an entirely new Witcher series, right? So they had many new Witcher games that were kind of, if you will, in some form of development, right? So let's take a look at what's going on there. What do you mean, gamer? Does this have to do with the phone number stuff, dude? Or are you talking about something else completely? Exactly that. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are not real excited about the phone number stuff. Yeah. Um, and I can understand that. I can understand that. We've talked about it. Um, I think it's this modern age of live service competitive online games. It's it's difficult for developers to try and wrap their heads around and find methods of trying to prevent people from um, being able to create multiple, accounts, what you'd call like Smurf accounts and stuff like that, um, and to keep a really nice community of that is engaged and not afflicted by the kinds of toxic kind of actions that can really kill a games community. That cheaters that just they get banned on one account and they just create another one and just keep doing the same thing, or people that um, engage in really uh, bigoted or discriminatory hate speech kind of stuff, or self harm talk, and they get banned and they just go back in and create another account, and they're like, okay, whatever, I'll just create another account, and things like that. So it's tough. I know. Yeah, I know that it's not. It definitely turns people off. The fact that you have to have a phone number tied to an account, but ultimately I can see why developers are starting to do that kind of thing in an attempt to try to maintain a healthy community of players around these very highly um, populated games. They want to maintain a good player base and get rid of a lot of the negativity that people try to uh, kind of drop in there along with it, and that's one of the ways that Blizzard has decided to move forward with the Overwatch thing, is to incorporate the phone number stuff that is supposed to help. It's not going to get rid of all of it, but it's supposed to help in that aspect. So we'll have to see how it works for them. But it is turning off other people as well, So yeah, and it's not just that. I mean, even the notion of the fact that Blizzard is in the process of, they've made it very public that they will be recording online voice chat to also get rid of people that are breaking terms of service in regards to the voice chat stuff. That's really throwing people off too. That people feel like that's a breach of their privacy, but ultimately, I mean, you guys know how I feel about those kinds of things, and I think that competitive banter is a really an absolutely fine thing. It's been in games and in any kind of competitive nature for us as humans for a very long time. I think it's fine, but it's whenever you get into there's a line there that shouldn't be crossed. When you cross those lines, um, I do think it's good for these developers to start trying to find ways to get rid of the individuals that do cross that line, because it can have really severe effects on individuals. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. Sorry, man. Sorry. PlayStation reveals good and bad news on future PC ports. Woo, Overwatch 2 launch was derailed by major DDoS attacks, dude. Hmm. Wow. Yeah, yo, this is actually we'll pull this up and shout out to our buddy Tinwin that dropped this news on us yesterday in the middle of our gaming content. This individual passed yesterday fighting in Ukraine, and was a big part of the gaming world, and an animator, and you know pretty tragic. So we'll pull that up and pay tribute to this individual that has you know played such a huge part in the world that we love, and probably so many people that don't even realize that this individual has been an animator in like games like Metro Exodus. They don't even probably realize they've enjoyed content that this individual was had contributed to. Yeah. It would take an amount of research on my part, I think. You know, it would take an amount of research on my part, gamer. Um, I think I would say right now, would I feel comfortable giving Blizzard my phone number? No. No. you know, but again, I think the big premise behind what they're trying to do with that is, I mean, because look, even outside of the gaming world, I'm hesitant to provide personal data like that to really anybody or any company, right? That I don't feel like necessarily needs it. I'm pretty try to remain pretty secure about any kind of private information that has anything to do with me, and unless I feel like there's a definitive need for somebody to have that information, I will raise questions as to why you need it. Right? I like I said, I mean, we've talked about the reason why Blizzard incorporated this, and I understand their methodology behind it and their reasoning behind it is in an attempt because only one account can be attached to one phone number at a time. And what it does is it helps to really prevent a lot of you know the things that a lot of like hackers and cheaters and people get banned from accounts that from it prevents people like that from creating multiple accounts. So I understand what they're doing and incorporating that kind of mechanic, but would I feel comfortable giving Activision Blizzard my phone number? No, not really. You know. Um, so um, I don't know. Well, I mean, and I am probably a little bit. A lot of this comes from past careers I've had and past jobs I've had, and I might be a little overprotective with my information, but I think ultimately there's probably, especially if they don't have a lot of other information to go off of from that company, if it's just like you know mostly if they don't have like your phone number, your full address, your full name, and all this other personally identifiable information that they can tie together, and then it gets released, or in a database that gets hacked, and then somebody pulls all that information out to where they can use that to kind of try to steal your identity. If it's just your phone number and it's not tied to a lot of other PII or personally identifiable information for you, then it's not really a big deal ultimately. There's not a whole lot of risk behind it, I would say. Um, but I don't know. It's been so long since I've been on like my Blizzard account or anything. I don't really know how much of my information is actually tied to that account, or how much of your information would be tied to that account, and then also adding your phone number. All that information that you continually add and put together, it increases the potential for somebody to be able to grab that information and do something potentially malicious with it by stealing your identity, right? That's ultimately the big risk behind giving out PII, right? Anything that ties your information to you that somebody could take and try to act like they are you. right? That's the big risk there. Um, so I mean, if it's just the phone number and it's not really tied to anything else, then probably not a big deal. Ultimately, you know. But it's been so long since I've been on my Battle.net account or anything that I don't even know. You know. Um, and it what they're not planning on doing anything with your phone number per se, besides just it's a unique number to each individual that prevents any other account from being created with that same number attached to it. And that's the whole premise behind what they're doing, right? Is trying to make sure that every account that is created has to have a number associated with it, a phone number associated with it, and it cannot have, and no account can have the same phone number attached to it, right? So that's the big deal there. That's the big deal. And it's just a way of trying to prevent people from making a bunch of different accounts, and really skewing their community, their player base and stuff. Probably not a big risk, man. Probably not. Well, yeah, I mean, look, that's the risk that you run with any corporation, right? Any corporation, and dude, it doesn't matter if you're talking about gaming or if you're talking about a bank, right? Most banks nowadays have online. They conduct most of their business online, right? Not all, but a lot. So it doesn't matter what industry or company you're talking about. If you have business with that business or company, and they have your information, and that's what I've been trying to get across to people in regards to a lot of these games built on crypto and NFTs and blockchain as well. Is, they're like, we're secure, you don't have to worry, we're secure. Ultimately, dude, your information, your money, all of that stuff is only as secure as that company makes it. It's a weird noise. Only as secure as that company makes it, right? So um, there are a lot of really smart people out there, and there are literal um, wars going on every single day over the internet of people trying to break in and access that kind of information from databases. And those companies are constantly on the defense of trying to prevent that from happening, right? So, um, whether it be a company like Blizzard or Steam that you utilize for leisure, or a banking company that you use for trying to take care of your finances, yeah, you really don't. You really don't. And I mean, I think the best thing you can do is do your own research and try to make sure that you trust fully the companies that you're utilizing for whatever means, whether it be leisure activity or actual business or what have you. Do a bit of research and see what their track record is, and see how much you feel like you can trust them with your information. That's why I always tell people as well that, it doesn't necessarily always have to be a data breach, a hack, or anything like that. Protecting your information is at the forefront of what everybody should be doing. Just hacking single accounts is not necessarily a hard thing for a lot of people that know what they're doing. So having two-factor authentication enabled on all of your online accounts is really a hugely beneficial thing. I try to put these tidbits out there for everybody to try to make sure everybody remains as safe as possible, just because that's the way, the world has changed, and the way that we do business and interact with technology on a day-to-day basis, whether it be for gaming or anything else. So, I mean, it's tough, dude. It's tough. You just gotta, hope, and I think the best you can do is really just anybody that you're planning on giving any of your information to, in an online environment is has a decent track record of being able to handle their business in a secure manner. You know, so the best people can do is just take a look at their history of but anybody's really at risk. You know, anybody, any company. There's some smart people out there, man. So, not to freak people out or anything, but that's the world we live in nowadays. No Man's Sky version 4.0 brings a relaxed mode. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, we read about the acquisitions from fandom yesterday, so I'm not gonna dive into the dude. They swooped up a bunch of different entertainment media sources and stuff. So it's kind of crazy. Fandom is getting big. Let's go ahead and pivot here. That's not correct. There we go. Um, I would say Google why Overwatch needs your phone number, and you might get a better idea. I mean, we've talked about it in a bit of depth before because this has come up a couple of times. You just might have missed it in the news segments, you know. So if you want a nice in-depth look, that's what I would Google is why Overwatch specifically, Overwatch 2 is requiring phone numbers, and you'll get a really nice detailed probably article there that tells you why. Because Blizzard overall, you know, you can tie your phone number in there to get like those kinds of notifications, but specifically Overwatch 2 needing your phone number is a different kind of scenario than Blizzard as a whole. So take a look at that. Kind of do that Google search. All right. A Blade Marvel video game could fill the void Castlevania? I don't think so. That's speculative, and I'm not going to dive into that. For me, it wouldn't. For me, a Blade Marvel video game would not fill the void that Castlevania has left for a while there. Sorry. Yep. Yeah, and that's what I was getting at just a little bit ago. Exactly. Because what it does is it makes it to where if people's accounts get banned, it's much harder for them to go and just create another account and go back in and keep doing the same thing because you have to have a phone number tied to your account to create an account, right? So in a lot of these games where you have people that are cheating and they get account banned or they are engaging in toxic behavior that violates the game's terms of service and they get banned, all they do is they go back in, they create an all new account, and they just go and engage in the same type of behavior. That account gets banned. They go create a new account, engage in the same type of behavior, right? So, having to have a phone number attached to an account eliminates or helps to eliminate the ability for gamers to do that kind of thing. Just keep creating dupe accounts and keep engaging in that kind of behavior because only one phone number can be tied to one game account, right? So that's the main reason, and that's what I was talking about a little bit ago. October's first Xbox Game Pass titles for console, PC, and what? You look at that. The Medium is being made into a TV show, dude. The so many. Yeah, yeah, it absolutely. Like I said, I mean, it doesn't, it throws some people off because just that notion of giving out. personal information to somebody like a video game company, right? A video game developer is a bit off-putting. It feels weird, right? But the reasoning behind it does make sense. So, what they're trying to do with it is it's a step in the right direction for them to try and maintain a good, healthy player base, a healthy community for such a huge online live service competitive game, right? Yeah. Looks like Netflix has a Narcos game coming. Take a look at that. Leaked PlayStation document may confirm Death Stranding something. Let's take a look at that. Ooh, Overwatch 2 players are reporting missing skins and items. Fortnite update adds new weapons, unvaults the grapple. Yeah, I mean it's becoming a trend. This is another thing. I mean, people in the same kind of realm as the phone number stuff that's making some people uncomfortable. What people are going to have to start getting used to as well is what I was talking about earlier. Epic's in the beta stages of this kind of thing. Blizzard is rolling out this same kind of methodology and mechanic within their live service games, which is voice recording. If you're using voice chat in games, they are going to start voice recording in an attempt to catch people violating terms of service. And if I remember correctly, Epic actually even has gone as far as to create an AI voice recognition software. They are rolling out different languages for this voice recognition software that basically monitors in-game VoIP. And if it catches anybody violating terms of service for the game, it takes a recording of that automatically and sends it to a human moderator. The human moderator then determines whether the player actually violated terms of service or not, and then implements a ban if they did right away. So that's something people are going to have to get used to as well. Is that people are starting to get recorded using in-game voice chat on the constant. And with Overwatch 2, it's a matter of what Blizzard has said as the voice recordings are only kept for a short period of time, and they're turned into transcribed text-based records of the voice chat for a longer period of time afterwards. But that's another thing that's happening that's making people uncomfortable. But ultimately, I think it's going to create a better environment for gamers as a whole. Because quite often, what is violating voice chat is the stuff I talk about all the time. That is people crossing the line of engaging in, that kind of discriminatory hate speech, prompting people to hurt themselves, stuff like that. That's just not acceptable, Magic the Gathering 30th Anniversary Edition announced. I don't know if this is going to have to do with the digital TCG part of Magic, but we'll take a look, okay? And just like you're talking about CODs having the same thing going on, it's going to become a very prevalent thing, with these live service competitive games. You're just going to have to start tying in things like your phone number to it to actually having an account, because that's one of the ways that is becoming popular to try and deal with cheaters and people that get banned and keep them from having numerous accounts. Yep. And I'm on board with it. I'm on board with it. PlayStation VR 2 report claims 2 million units will be available next year. Yeah, we're going to read about this. We talked about it yesterday, too. Free games announced on Amazon Prime Gaming for October. I think we've already hit on that, but let's take another peek at it real quick today. Why isn't Sony announcing any new PS5 games? Because they only want to do remakes. Let's take a quick glance at that. We got enough news articles. Let's go. Activision Blizzard's Overwatch 2 launches and boost to video game lineup. Where are all of our Overwatch 2 articles? Let's get all of these over here now. We'll just look at all this Overwatch stuff consecutively to begin with today. Activision Blizzard's Overwatch 2 launches and boost to video game lineup. Blizzard's sequel to the critically acclaimed Overwatch video game launches on Tuesday, providing the U.S. game publisher a boost to an otherwise slow year of new releases. The changes in Overwatch 2 are more about ways to monetize the free-to-play game rather than the gameplay itself. The original Overwatch, which was released 6 years ago, remains one of the most celebrated games of all time. An obsession-worthy hero shooter for all skill levels set in a utopian, multicultural vision for the future. In both games, two teams of diversely designed heroes compete to claim objectives by eliminating opponents and team strategy. For 60 million people who purchased Overwatch for as much as $60, the new Overwatch 2 is a free upgrade that promises steadier content releases than its predecessor, addressing one of fans' major complaints. To new players, Overwatch 2 is as charming as it is difficult to put down and comes at a time when the previous title's unique spin on the genre has lost its novelty. Blizzard is counting on Overwatch 2 to buoy dwindling excitement about subsidiary Blizzard Entertainment's original games as an overall post-pandemic slump in gaming. Introduced in 2016, Overwatch was the developer's last big release aside from 2022's Diablo Immortal, a smartphone iteration of its horror role-playing franchise developed by NetEase. With NetEase, Activision's annual Call of Duty will skip 2023, putting pressure on Overwatch 2 to breathe life into the publisher's anemic calendar so far. Santa Monica, California-based Activision Blizzard also funds an expensive international Overwatch League sports esports franchise that has lost mainstream interest over its 4-year lifespan. Overwatch became a $1 billion franchise within a year of its debut. Hardcore gamers were drawn to its innovative spin on shooter and strategy mechanics. The game's cast of lovable heroes ranging from a Swiss medic with angel wings to a Chinese climatologist with an ice blaster appealed to people who had never touched a digital gun in their lives. A steady stream of new content was necessary to keep Overwatch relevant in an increasingly competitive multiplayer gaming space. Although its gameplay loop is uniquely satisfying, players in recent years have said Overwatch's content release rate was too slow and unpurposeful. Some complained that Blizzard never really delivered a cohesive story for the game. More of a continuation than a whole new game, Overwatch 2's innovations include shrinking teams to 5 from 6 players and introducing a new competitive mode in the style of tug-of-war. Its most meaningful deviation from the original cooperative game missions, called Player vs. Environment, was delayed until sometime next year. In Overwatch 2, some of the story falls by the wayside. Game director Aaron Keller said it was too hard to launch the new Player vs. Environment mode simultaneous with the updated competitive mode on top of a commitment to new content. Overwatch 2 feels less like a sequel than an answer to fans' request for a fresher-smelling Overwatch. The original game discontinued service ahead of Overwatch 2's release, rolling players' cosmetics and stats into the new version. The new characters are winningly charismatic and riotously fun to play. The new game encourages more action and less standing behind a shield. Most of all, Blizzard said it will be more regularly updated, providing a steadier rate of hype-generating characters, outfits, maps, modes, and stories. Players will experience the new content through the game's Battle Pass, a monetization model popularized by Epic Games' smash hit Fortnite. Yeah, the Battle Pass will allow players to forego paying for the game up front and instead opt into a system, either a free basic version or a premium for $10, that awards them predetermined content for playing a lot or completing challenges. The game launches with 3 additional characters, but new players will need to play 100 matches before unlocking old characters from the original game. A twist players have griped about online. The original game was released as one big box. The majority of the revenue came early on. We want to develop a model that caters to what our players are asking for, which is to continuously be developing new content for the game over a frequent and consistent and long-lasting period of time, said Keller, citing the fact the team is now working on content that will release in 18 months. Keeping cosmetic upgrades such as character weapons or costumes behind a battle pass could keep players hooked on Overwatch 2 while encouraging them to spend money within the game. It's unclear how Overwatch 2's gameplay will stay balanced if not every player has access to every character from the beginning. However, games like Riot's League of Legends have managed it with more than 4 times the number of champions. Most top online competitive games are free with some sort of paid opt-in monetization system like a battle pass or loot boxes. It's emblematic of games' shift from completed products to sales platforms. Game publishers like Activision pursue predictable revenue. It's possible to make huge amounts of cash from the sale of a game as a product. You can see how newer approaches typically associated with live service games help manage risk and therefore appeal to people investing in the sector. Yeah. There has been turbulence within the creative team in the last 18 months. Overwatch lost its previous game director, Jeff Kaplan, as well as a lead character artist, executive producer, and lead hero designer. Now Overwatch has 16 times the number of external developers working on the game than it had on the original development team, according to Keller. Overwatch 2 gives players what they've been asking for, more lovable characters, faster gameplay, another mode, and more cosmetics to gawk over. Blizzard's strategy to get there is what may prove controversial. Okay. Now, as for the actual launch, Overwatch 2 launched derailed by major DDoS attack. Blizzard says that a mass denial of service attack is preventing some players from connecting to the game. Overwatch 2's launch on Tuesday has so far been less of a launch and more of a line. Thousands of players, including a few at PC Gamer, have been stuck in a lengthy login queue, only to run into a connection error after making it to the menu. Blizzard President Mike Ibarra, not a big fan of Mike Ibarra, tweeted this afternoon that this isn't just the result of too many players trying to get in. Overwatch 2 is currently suffering a DDoS attack. Unfortunately, we are experiencing a mass DDoS attack on our servers. If you're not familiar with what a DDoS attack is, basically what it is their servers are being flooded with information or requests or packets, right? From various different places, which it makes it's kind of overloading, right? So it overloads the servers with requests or information or packets or whatever the term is that you can attribute best, and makes it very difficult or impossible even sometimes for the servers to actually process any kind of legitimate requests for somebody that is trying. So it's quite often a situation where somebody has set up a bunch of kind of bot systems to just continually send a bunch of information into these servers and just flood them and overload them with information and requests to where they can't actually process anything legit, right? So it results in this kind of situation. Teams are working hard to mitigate and manage. This is causing a lot of drop connection issues, yeah. Distributed denial of service attacks direct large amounts of internet traffic to specific servers, overwhelming them with more connections than they can keep up with. Yo, Mr. Little Bat, what's up, buddy? I'm good, dude. My back's a little bit jacked today, man. I think I slept weird last night or something, man. I woke up in the middle of the night and I was just like, I felt it before I even moved. Dude, I knew my back was a bit jacked up. I haven't felt it like this in quite a while, too, so it sucks. I've got an old injury that it doesn't bother me that often, but dude, when it does, it's pretty rough. Other than that, dude, I'm great. Other than that, I'm good, dude. How are you, man? How was work? Cloudflare simplifies a DDoS attack as an unexpected traffic jam clogging up the highway, preventing regular traffic from arriving at its destination. Perfect. Cloudflare has an approachable breakdown of how hackers create botnets, use them to carry out DDoS attacks if you're after a deeper understanding of how they work. This isn't Blizzard's first DDoS rodeo. We've reported on DDoS issues affecting Battle.net and World of Warcraft in 2020 and 2019 and years prior. A DDoS attacker who targeted WoW in 2010 even got jail time for knocking the MMO offline. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, this ends up costing corporations, quite often a lot of money. With an overwhelming amount of traffic pummeling Blizzard servers, it may be hours until Overwatch 2's login issues smooth out. We'll update with more when we have it. This had to be from yesterday, right? Yeah, about 14 hours ago, yeah. Crazy. Threw both discs again yesterday morning. Oh, bro. That sucks. Yeah, mine's low, man. Mine's low in my back. We've got a compressed vertebrae, man. And when the injury initially happened, it was brutal. Like, I mean, I could barely get around for a number of months. It was so painful, and I eventually worked my way out of it, and got it to a manageable point, and the further time has gone on, the more manageable it became, and to a point where nowadays it doesn't mess with me too often. But dude, when it goes out, it goes out, and it's pretty brutal. So I woke up in the middle of the night, man, and I knew it. I could just feel I knew it was wrong, man. And I just even trying to like roll over or move in bed or anything was just excruciating. So I was moving around pretty slow this morning trying to get ready for the stream and everything, man. Yeah. But it's kind of loosening up a little bit on me, man. It gets really stiff at night when I sleep. You probably can relate to that, yeah. Sorry you're having issues too, man. The lower ones hit, yeah, the sciatic nerve. Yep, exactly, dude. Yeah, yep. Hmm. Yeah, dude. Yep. All right. Here's the last article we have regarding what's going on with Overwatch 2 right now. Overwatch 2 is experiencing some growing pains, as players have pointed out. I hope you start feeling better though, dude. The back stuff is no joke. Have pointed out a number of issues, including the fact that they are missing skins and items that should have been carried over from the first game. Overwatch 2 is a bit of a unique sequel. Most sequels drastically overhaul or iterate upon its predecessor, but this time Blizzard opted to refine and improve without going super overboard in terms of gameplay. However, it did decide to shut down the original game and replace it with a free-to-play sequel. Something fans were pretty surprised by. Very little is actually lost in terms of the jump between games, but some players are experiencing temporary issues as Blizzard migrates everyone over. Upon the game's release, Overwatch 2 immediately suffered a DDoS attack, which prevented players from being able to log into the game. Things are starting to improve now, though queue times and server issues are still present. For those who have gotten in, they're experiencing other issues. Fans are reporting their skins and other items are not transferring over from Overwatch, meaning they are losing hundreds of hours of progress. If you're one of the many encountering this problem, have no fear. Blizzard has already acknowledged this is a known issue and is actively working to resolve it. As of right now, there's no clear timeline for when this may be fixed, but it's good to know that Blizzard is already aware of the matter and on the case. Given the first game was around for over 6 years, players rightfully want to make sure the stuff they earned carries over to the new game. For now, they'll likely just have to stick with default skins or earn some of the new content that comes with Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2 is a game that will continue to expand with new content, big and small, over time. While that will include things like new heroes and skins, it will also include pretty substantial additions such as a PvE mode. The mode was expected to come with the game at launch, but Blizzard opted to decouple them in order to release the game sooner. Yep. Overwatch 2 is available on Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC. Okay. Released yesterday. I think they're probably going to continue to have some queue issues and things like that for the first day or two, probably. Oh, bro. Oh, nice, gamer. Yeah. Yeah, that was really fun, dude. They've got a lot of really cool different things in the game. I mean, apart from just how well how polished and nice the game feels most of the time. Again, I've had a few issues with just whenever an enemy gets right up in your face, it feels like the hitbox gets missed with certain weapons a little bit. And yesterday, the bug I experienced was brutal. The bug at the end of the day really sucked. It lost me some time. But apart from that, they've done a really cool job from like the shooting range or the basketball game, zone ball or whatever it's called in the game, or the different getting into shooting the asteroids and stuff, or there's a lot of really cool stuff they did with the game to kind of give you a breather in between all the fighting of the horror aliens. It's kind of wild. They did a great job with it. I'm glad you're liking it, gamer. I'm glad you're liking it. It's a cool game. You know what I just noticed, though? There are no achievements on Steam for it. There are no achievements on Steam for Dead Space. I wonder why that is. Like the whole time I was playing the game, I was like, I don't think I was thinking about this yesterday. I don't think I've seen an achievement come up the entire time, and that's kind of rare for games on Steam, And then I looked this morning, and I was like, yeah, sure enough, dude, there are no achievements on this game. It's kind of wild. Keep going. So hopefully they Blizzard gets these missing items worked out from. I mean, look, anytime I think it. Obviously, perfect world, there wouldn't be any issues, right? But I think anybody that was going into this issue of the transition of Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2, if they thought that there wasn't going to be any kind of issues in this transition, they were dreaming. I just, you have to assume there are going to be some funky things that happen nowadays anytime something like this happens, and this is what it is. Blizzard will figure it out, man. They will. Hopefully sooner rather than later. PlayStation Plus free games for October now available. So we'd already talked about what these games are, which is Hot Wheels Unleashed, Injustice 2, and Super Hot. So these games are available now for PS Plus, okay? We've already talked about these games, and so we knew that they were coming, but they are now officially available for PS Plus. I'm going to throw this in chat, so if you guys want to take a look at this, you can, okay? It's got trailers for the games and everything, too, which is really
Now
cool.
that we're friends again, is it okay if I pet you?
Thanks, dude. Thanks, dude.
Wick 6634 just resubscribed for 10 months. Speaking of super hot.
You are crazy, dude. What's up, buddy? Speaking of super hot, jeez. Yeah, I mean, you just showed up, dude. Speaking of super hot. Wick's here, guys. Flipping wild, bro. You guys are wild. Yo, check this out. Did you guys see this? Pinky was messing around with some AI generation stuff yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw this stuff. Pinky was messing around with some AI generated art. Look at this. This was what he generated from me streaming yesterday. Look at this. Isn't that crazy, dude? Look at the pictures of the corn in the back of the the background, dude. I was flipping dying whenever this came out. Yo, Wick, thanks again, dude. incredible, man. Isn't that pretty nuts, dude? It even like this is the exact same tank top I was wearing, like everything, dude. It's got like the camera looks the exact same, like the angles and stuff. And then it's got I don't know how he got this to happen, dude. But these pictures of corn in the background, I'm dying, bro. It was too flippin' funny, dude. Yeah, dude. He put it in the art. He's like, hey, I had the AI generate a picture of your camera from the stream or something. He told me something. He's like, check it out in the art section of the Discord, dude. And I went in there, and this is what it was. Pretty incredible, man. It's pretty incredible. As far I mean, you can see like in comparison to what the camera looks like on the stream, right? Obviously, the pictures aren't the same, and I'm way better looking than what the AI generated came up with. But it's pretty good, anyways. Gamer, take it easy, dude. Take it easy, brother. Have a good day at work. Paint me like a French girl, Pinky. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's pretty awesome, though, dude. Take it easy, gamer. Wick, thanks again, buddy. Incredible, man. Thanks. CDPR announced this new Cyberpunk game. They've already announced they were working on a whole new like Witcher series that isn't based around Geralt, but we'll see what they have to say here. CDPR has pulled back the curtains on its game development pipeline, revealing a brand new Cyberpunk game, multiple new Witcher games, and even a new IP. This news comes by way of the studio's investor call today, in which the studio revealed Orion, the codename for its next Cyberpunk game. Not much else was revealed, but CDPR says Orion will take the Cyberpunk franchise further and continue harnessing the potential of this dark future universe. Up next was The Witcher. CDPR has revealed that its next Witcher game, which was announced earlier this year, is being developed under the codename Polaris. The studio says, quote, it is the beginning of a new saga and that it aims to release 2 more Witcher games after Polaris, creating a new AAA RPG Witcher trilogy. Yeah, we knew about that. Following that reveal, CDPR announced another full-fledged Witcher game under the codename, presumably Canis Majoris, which will be developed by an external studio headed by experienced developers who have worked on CDPR's Witcher games in the past, according to the announcement. We've known for some time already that the Molasses Flood is working on a game in the Witcher universe, and during today's investor call, CDPR released some additional details about the project. Quote, Sirius is a codename for the game developed by the Molasses Flood set in the Witcher universe and created with the support from CDPR. It will differ from our past productions, offering multiplayer gameplay on top of a single-player experience, including a campaign with quests and a story. Closed out today's new games announcement, CDPR revealed Project Hadar, a third, quote, entirely distinct IP created from scratch. This project is in the earliest stages of the creative process, according to the studio, which means it is not actually developing any of the game just yet. For now, CDPR is working exclusively on the foundation for this new setting. And those are all the new games and projects CDPR announced today. Yeah, okay. Well, that's some more information on the Witcher stuff anyways. And here's my thing. Yo, Wick, did you start playing any new games yet? Oh, God, my back, dude. With no, not yet. Okay. With what Wick's busy, yeah. How are the stores coming along, dude? How are they? How's everything coming? I know the one's like a major renovation, dude. The other one's probably not as big of a deal, but how's the main one coming? I can tell you that I'm very, very hesitant about jumping in on anything CDPR anymore. Oh, it's looking good. Good, dude. Good. Um, a bundle that's going to include the main game and probably DLC with it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's normally what bundle means. Yeah. So you've got is that on PS Plus? Is that what that's on? Or did you buy it, or are you actually get it on like PS Plus or PS Plus. Yeah, it's probably the bundle, dude. Probably the bundle on PS Plus means you're going to get the base game plus some DLC with it. Yeah, yeah, more than likely. Want to play some Hot Wheels? Dude, the Hot Wheel games are supposed to be pretty solid, actually. Yeah, they're pretty highly rated. I mean, all the three main games coming out for October, which we just talked about, for PS Plus this month are all pretty highly rated titles. What Injustice 2, Hot Wheels, and what was the third one? Can't think of what the third one is right now. Freak when he gets home. Yeah, we had talked previously, Mr. Little Bat, about like some you getting some Hot Wheels stuff for the kids, you know. Yeah, that's gonna be cool, man. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. I think my thing here with CDPR moving forward is after playing The Witcher 3. Oh, Super Hot. Hey, thanks, dude. Thanks. Yeah, Super Hot's supposed to be really good too. Yeah, thanks, buddy. I'm just scared of anything they come out with anymore. The Witcher 3 was a cool experience, but even playing it 7 years after release, it was a mess. There were so many bugs in that game, and from what I understand, whenever Witcher 3 released, it was incredibly worse. You know, and now knowing what Cyberpunk was on release, um, all that really says to me is that basically anybody should be very, very weary about jumping into anything right away that CDPR releases anymore. So it's cool to know that they have some new stuff in the pipeline, but I can tell you that from my point of view, I absolutely will not be playing anything that they release until I am quite positive that it's a decently polished released product. I will not be playing anything they release on day one. That's for sure. Not for the foreseeable future, anyways. Until they can show me some kind of track record moving forward that they've learned their lessons and they've gotten better about their releases. So this is cool, like getting some more information about what they're doing moving forward and everything. But the CDPR sketches me out, man. PlayStation reveals good and bad news on future PC ports. Sony announced they are going to handle future PC ports of its exclusive games. PC gamers, prepare to wait. Dude, I knew this was coming. I had already told everybody this is the way it was going to be. So the term exclusive has long lost its meaning, right? Sony seems to agree because they're now officially planning to bring all of their major IPs to the PC. While it's definitely less romantic, I totally get it. More players means more money, and as gamers, we should be happy about our kin getting to experience the Sony greatness, regardless of which system one owns. But there is a but. PC players have to wait 1 year for PlayStation games. I was going to assume it would be somewhere between 6 months to a year. And there you go. You read the headline, but allow me to repeat: if you are merrily gaming away on your mouse and keyboard, you'll have to wait 1 whole year until you can mouse and keyboard your way through the future PlayStation games. At least that is the case for single-player games. The live service games, which Sony is looking to emphasize more and more, will be released simultaneously. It only makes sense, too, because live service games obviously need a strong community engagement and player base. So splitting all of that with delayed releases, it wouldn't work in Sony's favor. Currently, we don't know what live service games to expect from Sony, but rumor has it that a Horizon multiplayer standalone is on the horizon. Also, The Last of Us multiplayer is a likely candidate for live service. These are supposed to, from what I've read, these Horizon multiplayer and The Last of Us multiplayer are supposed to be coming with these remakes or remasters. Excuse me, the remasters, which I'm just a kind of dumbfounded as to why the remasters are happening for Horizon Zero Dawn and The Last of Us. I don't really get it. There's so many other games that need remakes or remasters so much worse than these titles do, and I think Sony's just too scared to dive into anything older. Sony's scared. That's what I'm sticking with. The I think here's the thing to take away. Is Sony becoming like Microsoft, Xbox on PC? So this is what you need to know. This is what everybody needs to know. Sony has been very vocal about stating that they will not be doing the same thing that Microsoft does with their subscription service, which is doing day one releases on PS Plus, right? Which was a pretty good indication that no, we were not going to get PC releases the same day as like their PlayStation releases as well, right? So that is one of the big differences, and I'm hoping I'm going to answer this question for you, Mr. Lobat, in what I'm talking about right now. So Xbox, for the longest time now, whenever they release a proprietary game for their console, it also releases like PC day one. It releases on their Game Pass day one, almost always, right? Sony came out recently and was very vocal saying, we will not be releasing our proprietary PlayStation games on PS Plus day one. We will not do that. And that was a pretty good indication that we would not be seeing those titles on PC day one as well, right? This is officially giving us that confirmation. So, I mean, I think the thing is the glass is half full for PC gamers here to an extent. It doesn't feel great because ultimately what we would want is for them to follow suit with Microsoft and give us those games on PC day one, yeah? But how long have we been waiting now for most of the games that they currently have been releasing finally on PC? We're talking about 4 to 5 years later. God of War, 4 years. Spider-Man, 4 years. If not longer. If you take a look at it from that point of view, and you go, okay, well, we might not be getting them on day one, but 1 year later is much better than 4 to 5 years later, right? Then ultimately, I'll take that. That's really the only thing that has gotten me close to buying a PlayStation anymore after a PS3 was the proprietary games like God of War, Final Fantasy Remake, and it just wasn't, they didn't have enough that appealed to me as proprietary. Thanks, dude. To go ahead and purchase, especially when I'm primarily a PC gamer. Now, I will say it still kind of feels bad to me, and I think that, what's funny is that you look at Sony, and Sony is, raising prices on their PlayStations. They are not going to release their games on their subscription service day one. They are really bad about trying to do anything for their fan base as far as like backwards compatibility and stuff like that. Whereas Xbox is the opposite of all that. They always release their games day one on Game Pass. They always release their games day one on PC, which is easier for them because inherently they also Microsoft creates Windows, right? The major operating system for computers. So it's been easier for them to do that. Granted. They are not raising the prices of their consoles and have been noted as saying their consoles they've never made money on their consoles, right? They've got all these things, and they are much nicer to their fan base and community about always trying to find ways to get backwards compatibility going for the people that play their systems. Sorry. Um, so I don't know. I mean, the glass is half full here. I know. My wife was leaving. I had to tell her bye. Um, thanks, Vic. Yo, I'm so glad I got the gifts working again, dude. They were hung up for a long time, and it took me a while to figure it out. What happened? Wasn't a very nice goodbye, dude. I can barely move this morning. I can't run today, dude. I something happened last night while I was asleep. I jacked my old back injury up, dude. She is the best everything maker, dude. Yeah, she's amazing. She is. Yeah. She actually threw me a heating pad as she was leaving. So I broke my hip. Yeah, dude, I've got an old back injury, man. I've got a compressed vertebrae in my lower back. It doesn't usually give me issues, but I woke up in the middle of the night, man, and I knew right away. I hadn't even moved yet. I woke up in the middle of the night and I could feel it, and I was like, oh, this is not good. I tried to like roll over, but I could barely move. It was super stiff. It feels better this morning after I got up and moved around and stuff, but man, it's brutal. When it hurts, it hurts. It doesn't mess with me too much anymore, but man, sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm all right, dude. We'll get through it. So, I mean, that's my take on this, Um, waiting a year is much better than what we were waiting prior. But I still think that Xbox is absolutely blowing Sony out of the water right now when it comes to the way they're handling their business, and especially the way that they're, you know, taking care of their fan base. It just seems like they're doing a much better job to me. Colleagues pay tribute to Metro Exodus animator who died fighting for Ukraine. Yo, let me throw a shout out to our buddy Tinwin. Tinwin actually came across this bit of news yesterday in the middle of the day while we were playing Dead Space and threw this to me. So we took a quick break and paid respect to Andriy Korzinkin, who passed recently fighting in Ukraine. Yeah. And was an animator in the gaming world. I worked on games like Metro Exodus, among other things. And it's, so much goes on in the world, even outside of the conflict in Ukraine with what they're having to deal with Russia, which is terrible. And we've all been, I say all, I think the majority of us have been hoping that this ends sooner rather than later. And unfortunately, it's still ongoing here, right? But there are so many places in the world that deal with terrible, circumstances and acts of violence and things like that. And it sucks. Quite often we don't even hear about it, but I think that it's appropriate for us to take a moment and just pay tribute to this individual for both standing up and fighting for Ukraine, paying the ultimate price to stand up and fight for that country, and also for giving us the talent with which he had to pump into the industry and the games that we love. So heart and thoughts go out to this individual's friends and family, and hopefully in a much better place nowadays. Hopefully there wasn't any suffering that came along with the passing, and from me, I'd just like to say thank you for for contributing to the world that is such a huge part of my life, and I find so much enjoyment in, and makes me so very happy, which is gaming, and I think does for so many people, and it allows us to kind of step away from the things that quite often, like war, tend to create so much distress and anxiety in our lives, and gaming is ultimately what allows us to kind of immerse ourselves in something different and lose ourselves for a little bit, even if it's just for a little bit at a time, and get away from those kinds of things sometimes. So shout out to Andre, and appreciate everything this individual did, and rest in peace, buddy. No Man's Sky version 4.0 to bring a relaxed mode. The new mode will make No Man's Sky more appealing to casual players. No Man's Sky developer Hello Games has shared what fans can expect from the Sci-Fi Games version 4.0 update, which will arrive as part of No Man's Sky's Nintendo Switch launch this month. As No Man's Sky prepares to launch on the Switch this Friday, dude, that's happening in 2 days. Hello Games founder Sean Murray has discussed what fans can expect from version 4.0. Murray explained that this version will not be as content heavy as some of No Man's Sky's past major updates. It will bring large changes to the game's more design heavy elements. That includes lots of streamlining in terms of the tutorial when you unlock certain things.
Now that we're friends again, is it okay if I pet you?
Thanks, dude.
Sayak just resubscribed for 11 months. Binary solo 0000000000000111000001110001110. Oh, one come on sucker, lick my battery.
You know I would, dude. The humans are dead. What's up, buddy? Yo, thanks, man. Hey, dude. Thanks, man. That's pretty good, bro. Oh, man. I need to go back and watch some Flight of the Conchords stuff. It's been a while. That's a really good one, too, man. That's really good. Thanks, buddy. How are you, man? What's up? Includes lots of streamlining in terms of the tutorial when you unlock certain things, what's available to you, as well as a relaxed mode for the game. Murray says that relaxed mode in No Man's Sky is a very fun version where the focus is on exploration, less on just surviving and grinding. Better than I had hoped, dude. That was actually really, really good, yeah. Yeah, I'm good, man. I've got a little bit, my old back injuries flared up a little bit, but I'm all right, man. We're going to get through this Dead Space today, man. It feels bad we didn't get it done yesterday, but after that bug, I just didn't have it in me, man. But we'll get that done today, and then we'll start Dead Space 2 tomorrow. That'll be good, dude. We'll get it. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm always good. Getting to hang out with you guys, play games, chill, dude. I'm living my dream, baby. Yeah. Over at PC Gamer, Murray shared the game's relaxed mode will allow players to customize the difficulty of No Man's Sky. If you want to dial the challenge slightly differently, if you want to have permadeath in relaxed game mode or whatever it is, you can do those things. Murray said, you can change a ton of things to do with controls, a ton of things to do with difficulty, survival, crafting, you can balance those your own way. I don't want to oversell it and say it's a reimagining of the game or anything like that, but it's a different balance of survival sandbox. The last major for No Man's Sky entitled Endurance was released earlier in the year and brought a complete overhaul of freighters and fleets. Okay. So, Friday, dude, I had forgotten all about the fact that No Man's Sky was getting the Switch port. And that's happening in 2 days, man. 2 days. Cool. Again, I mean, No Man's Sky is another one of those examples of just a terrible, terrible, terrible release for a title. But, I mean, if there was ever going to be an example of a developer that has redeemed themselves for such a terrible release, it would be Hello Games, What they've done with this title since release and have not charged anything for DLC or content after the fact of the release of this game, this game has evolved greatly. And none of the additional content has cost anybody anything. And look, indie developer, right? Obviously, I don't think that anybody could argue with the fact that their reach on this game was initially just kind of obtuse, right? For the time frame in which they had set to release the game, it was unobtainable, and but where the game has come to this point, and look, I don't think there's any excuse for a game releasing in the state that this game has, or something like Anthem or Cyberpunk. There's no real excuse for that, right? It should never happen. But redemption, for sure, absolutely. I think that you have to at least give them some credit for buckling down and going, this was our vision. We're going to follow through with this. We're going to keep working. We're going to give the the people that invested in this dream for us and bought into what we told them this game was going to be. We're going to follow through, and we're going to give them what that dream was supposed to be. And they're doing that, man, and they've done that. And so you got to give a little bit of credit there, October's first Xbox Game Pass titles for console, PC, and cloud have been dated, including Chivalry 2, Scorn, and Plague Tale Requiem. Microsoft has confirmed the next wave of titles heading to Xbox Game Pass for console, PC, and Xbox Cloud Gaming. Chivalry 2, we read about yesterday, joins the subscription service today. I think it's probably talking about yesterday. Yeah. So that was yesterday. Ahead of Medieval Dynasty, The Walking Dead, the complete first season, and The Walking Dead Season 2 on October 6th, so tomorrow. They'll be followed by Costume Quest and Evil on October 11th, Dyson Sphere Program on October 13th, Scorn on October 14th. Remember, Scorn got pushed forward a week, so we're getting that a week early, which we will be playing day one, and a Plague Tale Requiem on October 18th. Now, a Plague Tale is a possibility for us. I own the first one, and if everybody wanted to, we could play the first one and then play the second one. We just wouldn't get to play it on release, because if we're playing Scorn on the 14th, then getting through Scorn, then playing a Plague Tale 1 and then a Plague Tale 2 by the 18th is just not really viable, I don't think, But we could end up at the end of October playing the Plague Tale games. It's an option. But we do still have to get through, after Scorn, the Outlast games are for sure that we're going to play. The following titles will leave Xbox Game Pass on October 15th. Bloodroots, Echo Generation, Into the Pit, Ring of Pain, Sable. Ring of Pain is one that you could have just gotten for free, I think about 3 weeks ago on Epic Games. Yeah. Sable, which looks really cool. I want to play Sable still. And The Good Life. Microsoft recently confirmed that it intends to bring Activision Blizzard's leading franchises to Xbox Game Pass should the company's merger be approved, including Call of Duty, Diablo, and Overwatch. It has also officially launched the Xbox Game Pass Friends and Family Plan, which is currently only available to players in Ireland and Colombia. We've talked a lot about that. This is rolled out in these two countries, right? But they are planning on rolling out the Friends and Family Plan throughout the rest of the world soon. We don't have any kind of definitive dates yet, but understand this. For what you would pay for 2 of the Ultimate Xbox Game Pass subscriptions, you can pay that much and spread it across 5 people, right? So an Xbox Friends and Family Plan basically allows you to pay that much for 5 people to have access to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, right? which is significant. So whether it be family or friends or whatever, you just get those people, get in on an account together, make it a friends and family plan, and that price that you would normally pay is significantly decreased. Even if you only get 4 people in on that friends and family plan, what you would normally pay each month is cut in half, right? So this is a pretty incredible thing that Xbox is doing with their Game Pass. And we had a discussion here recently about, the difference in the cost between, somebody brought up, I think Gamer brought up the fact that Game Pass costs an amount more per year if you pay for it up front per year. Game Pass costs an amount more than PS Plus does. But one of the things that I brought up is, oh, nice, dude. Sick. Congrats. With Xbox Game Pass, you're always getting these day one releases for Xbox on Game Pass as well. Whereas with PlayStation, and as Sony just announced, they are not going to do that. They have no plans for day one releases of their PlayStation proprietary titles to go to PS Plus, right? So if you take a look at the fact that over a year period, if you only want to buy one brand new title for PlayStation, a proprietary PlayStation game, that alone is going to put you above what you would have ended up paying in addition to the PS Plus for 1 year of Xbox Game Pass, where you get all of Xbox's proprietary titles day one. It's kind of wild. So just trying to put things in perspective for people about the way these companies are addressing their subscription services and their releases and things like that, okay, to try to help you make more of an educated decision into what you might want to buy into and get the most enjoyment out of content-wise, okay? The medium is being made into a TV show. Bloober Team has been inspired by the success of Cyberpunk, Edgerunners, and Arcane. Dude, I cannot wait for Season 2 of Arcane. I still need to watch Edgerunners. I do still need to watch Edgerunners. Tinwin said that it is very, very good. But, dude, I cannot wait for the second season of Arcane. And I'm not even a League of Legends fan. Bloober Team has announced that it's a horror game. The medium will be adapted into a TV show. The show, which will be a co-production between Platige Image and Bloober Team, will be led by filmmaker Tomasz Baginski. I might have butchered that. Sorry if I did, buddy. And Bloober Team president Piotr Babino. According to Babino, the success of other video game adaptations such as Cyberpunk, Edgerunners, and Arcane have inspired the project. The latest hits of streaming platforms based on games such as Cyberpunk, Edgerunners, or Arcane have shown that this is the perfect time for such productions. The medium sees players assume the role of Marion, a medium living across the real and spirit worlds. According to Bloober, it features, quote, never seen before and officially patented gameplay that plays out across 2 worlds displayed at the same time. VGC's review called the game a short but intriguing tale, saying, the medium won't give you any sleepless nights, but treat it as a paranormal thriller rather than an all-out horror game, and you'll find an interesting story that will encourage you to push through its slightly repetitive split-screen gimmick to find out how it all ends. Yeah, I had heard that this game isn't necessarily scary, per se, but it's a decent little, supernatural, psychological kind of thriller. Bloober has said the medium is partly inspired by Konami's Silent Hill series, which is why it signed the horror franchise's composer Akira Yamaoka to contribute music to the game alongside Arkadiusz Rakowski. I'm sorry, I butchered that. In February, Bloober revealed that its next title will be an existing horror IP from a very famous gaming publisher, fueling speculation it could be reviving Silent Hill. Yeah, we've talked a lot. We've seen a lot of news articles about that kind of speculation there. Okay, so the medium will be a TV show. That is the next adaptation we have coming our way. Narcos game, free for all Netflix subscribers, is coming. Netflix is beginning to offer games as part of their library of content. The dream is that, as with their film and TV offerings, they will one day be able to produce their own games for the platform from their new studio in Helsinki. But until that's possible, they need to license games from others to get the ball rolling. One of the new games we've just heard about is based on the beloved Narcos series. What is the Netflix Narcos game? It's called Narcos Cartel Wars, and it already exists currently for iOS and Android, but will be brought to Netflix as part of the agreement between the streaming giant and Tilting Point. This is a highly rated game with a 4.6 on the Google Play Store and 4.7 on the App Store. In this strategy game, you build a local drugs empire and then expand across South and Central America. One key difference between the currently available mobile game and the Netflix version is that they will remove microtransactions. We think this is based on a recent statement from Netflix Gaming, in which they said, "This is another step in our vision to build a world-class game studio that will bring a variety of delightful and deeply engaging original games with no ads and no in-app purchases to our hundreds of millions of members around the world." Yeah, if you're not familiar, as long as you have a subscription to Netflix, you can just hop on their app, play all their games, which is at roughly approaching 30 games at this point. And by the end of the year, there's supposed to be a total of 50, right? But one of their key things that they're trying to stick to here is you will not experience ads and you will not experience any kind of microtransactions within their games. So, which is a couple of things that for a lot of gamers is very, very off-putting as far as mobile games and mobile apps go. It can be very, very tough to deal with, that kind of thing. So it's probably a pretty good play on their part. If you're already paying a subscription for Netflix, you don't want to have to deal with that kind of stuff with their games that you're accessing through their app as well, Yeah. When will Narcos Cartel Wars be released? Sometimes this fall. We don't have a specific release date yet. Not long to wait, and then in between episodes of your favorite shows, you can start building your very own drug empire. I mean, this is one of the things that Netflix is really trying to do heavily as well, which is get games or build games based around the shows that they have to stream. Have that connection between both the games and the video series, movie titles that they have available. We've already seen that kind of what it can be very lucrative. As the most recent example is the Edge Runner stuff, which is on Netflix, and what it's done for CDPR in kind of revitalizing Cyberpunk 2077 and getting a huge player base back in there, and it was a really smart play on their part, because not only did they, at the same time they released Edge Runners, they put a sale on Cyberpunk, and they just, it brought a ton of people into that game and brought in a lot of revenue and stuff. So that's marketing for you, right? But Netflix, being the primarily TV and movie entertainment streaming service that they are, pivoting into gaming, it just makes sense for them to try to do that as well. Leaked PlayStation document may confirm Death Stranding 2. We've already seen like a lot of different things, leaks and stuff like Norman Reedus has done some stuff that basically told everybody this was happening, but it got it's unofficial, rumors about a possible Death Stranding sequel have circulated for quite some time, thanks in part to past comments by star Norman Reedus. Yeah. In 2021, Reedus hinted he was in talks to rejoin the cast for Death Stranding 2. Cryptic photos from director Hideo Kojima and other supposed leaks also have some fans convinced they haven't seen the last of Sam Porter Bridges. Now, apparently, leaked document out of Sony is floating about, further fanning the Death Stranding flames. Leaked details hint at Death Stranding 2's mysterious codename. The document in question garnered mention a few days ago following reports about a Horizon Zero Dawn remake. Industry insiders claimed more leaked details were bound to surface soon thereafter. It seems they were right. Insiders such as Tom Henderson noted the contents of the document weren't particularly exciting. The page itself is making the rounds via Reset Era, boasting listings for projects such as the alleged Zero Dawn remake, Sackboy's recently revealed PC port, and Ocean. The latter is supposedly the codename of Death Stranding 2, a sequel that neither Kojima nor Sony has officially teased in any capacity. The alleged Sony spreadsheet also mentions Returnal's all but confirmed PC version, Horizon Forbidden West's long-rumored DLC, and an open-world experience titled Carbon from Sackboy developer Sumo Digital. As always, it's best to take leaked information about Death Stranding 2 and other unannounced games with a grain of salt. Yeah. There's usually I think it's much more appropriate to take rumors with a grain of salt, if you will, if it's from, some online personality that is noted for leaking stuff that is most of the time true, but sometimes isn't. As opposed to, getting things coming out from Norman Reedus, who was the actor in the first game and is like, yeah, we're working on the second one. And then it's like, gets that stuff taken down, it's probably a pretty good indicator that the second one is being developed, Still appropriate to not jump the gun, but Fortnite update adds new weapon, unvaults the grapple glove. Fortnite developer Epic Games has released the first major update for Chapter 3 Season 4 Paradise. The popular free-to-play Battle Royale video game has added a new weapon, unvaulted the grapple glove, and more. Fortnite version 22.10 has plenty of new changes overall for players to check out. More specifically, the new Fortnite update introduces the Cobra DMR, a new long-range weapon with a fast fire rate. The normal DMR has been vaulted with its arrival, and the Cobra DMR can be found from the ground, chests, supply drops, fishing, loot sharks, and reality sapling fruit. In short, it's basically everywhere. There it is. The new update also introduces hollow chests, which can be opened using keys. These chests display a holographic preview of what's in them so that players will know exactly what they're getting. Additionally, 2 keys can open an exotic holo chest that does all of the above, but for an exotic item. Lastly, the grapple glove is back. Works like before, but can be found on the ground, chest, supply drops, and legendary and mythic reality sapling fruit. It will be vaulted once more in the version 22.20 update. You can check out the general patch notes for Fortnite version 22.10 direct from the source below. There's some miscellaneous updates there. I'll let you guys read that if you're interested in what else is coming in the update for Fortnite, okay? Let's skim this real quick. Because if this isn't... Okay. It does talk about some new video game crossover cards and stuff. So, Magic the Gathering's 30th anniversary in 2023 began in earnest today with Wizards of the Coast announcing Magic the Gathering 30th Anniversary Edition, a commemorative collectible set alongside some new video game crossover cards. Drawing inspiration from limited edition beta Magic the Gathering's very first core set from October 1993, Magic the Gathering 30th Anniversary Edition will pay homage to classic Magic the Gathering cards by using vintage artwork from the game's early days and a subset of cards featuring Magic the Gathering's original card frames. Magic the Gathering's 30th anniversary cards are not tournament legal. The set is intended as a nostalgic celebration of Magic the Gathering's 3 decades of history. That level of nostalgia comes at a price. Magic the Gathering's 30th anniversary edition goes on sale on November 28th with a $1,000 price tag. The set will have a limited edition print run. Black Lotus. According to the announcement post on dailymtg.com, each display of 30th Anniversary Edition will contain 4 packs of pure nostalgia reimagined in a modern context. Each pack contains 15 cards, 13 cards in the modern frame, 1 rare, 3 uncommons, 7 commons, and 2 basic lands, plus 1 basic land in the retro frame, 1 additional retro frame card, and a token. Also of note, about 3 out of every 10 Magic the Gathering 30th Anniversary Edition packs include a rare retro frame card that can be anything from a Black Lotus to a Mahamadi Jinn to a volcanic island. This amounts to some packs, including 2 rares, and a smaller subset, including 2 cards in the famed Power 9. On the flip side, the highly sought after dual lands appear twice as frequently as any of the non-dual land rare cards. That goes for both the modern and retro frame rare slots. Almost every card included in Magic the Gathering 30th Anniversary Edition has the same rarity it debuted with in limited edition beta. That means there are no mythic rares and no cards have shifted rarities. The cards do have modern phrasing and modern card corners, and some of the original art has been touched up to appear clearer and more modern. The one exception is Soul Ring. Dude, I had like 2 or 3 of those back in the day. A fan favorite card. For Magic the Gathering 30th Anniversary Edition, Wizards of the Coast has had a new batch of original art created to appear on common rarity card Soul Ring copies in both modern and retro frames, in addition to Soul Ring appearing in the uncommon slot. That's wild, dude. Expensive. PlayStation VR 2 report claims 2 million units will be available next year. Nearly 2 years after the console's release, the PS5 remains very difficult to come by. It seems Sony does not want to have that same problem with the PlayStation VR 2 hardware releases. As Bloomberg is reporting that the company aims to have 2 million units available by March 2023, production of the peripheral began last month, and it seems that this supply issues have not been a problem. As of this writing, the peripheral does not have a confirmed release date, but it sounds like the headset will be getting a big push to start off the year. The original PlayStation VR headset released in 2016, and Sony reported sales of 5 million units worldwide. If Bloomberg's reporting is accurate, it would mean Sony has a very high expectation for the new peripheral and its performance compared to previous headsets. The company has yet to reveal just how much PlayStation VR 2 will retail for. The original unit cost $400 at launch, and fans are expecting the new unit to cost even more. It will be very interesting to see how PlayStation VR 2 performs for Sony. Sony VR remains a niche part of the video game industry at the moment. VR remains a niche part of the video game industry at the moment for a handful of different reasons. The buy-in cost is very steep, and there haven't been a lot of VR games that have truly elevated the technology to must-own status. Some of the PlayStation fans that bought a VR headset for PlayStation 4 might even feel hesitant about buying another unit, particularly since this one won't be backwards compatible with VR titles released for PlayStation 4. Because Sony is not nice about backwards compatibility, all right? Last but not least, there are many VR users that have reported feeling motion sickness when using the technology. With 2023 swiftly approaching, hopefully PlayStation will reveal some concrete information about the VR2 headset and how much it will cost at launch. If Sony does hope to sell that many units next year, the company will have to let fans know just how much money they'll have to set aside. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, this is one area, though, where PlayStation has been very committed to the VR space, where you haven't really seen Xbox do the same thing. Now, I don't know if there's any kind of possibility, and I don't think there is, but I'm not sure if there's the possibility of using any kind of other hardware, whether it be, a Quest or, Valve's hardware or what have you, VR hardware to attach to an Xbox and run VR games. I don't think there is. But Xbox is just kind of not working in that space, it doesn't seem like. Whereas PlayStation, ever since their original VR, like it says, back in 2016, I think, something like that. 2016. They've been committed to trying to give people the option to play VR titles on their platform. We'll see how it goes for them. Free games announced on Prime for October. We kind of hit this already, I think. Yeah. Starting 2 days ago, Prime Gaming has been offering 7 different free titles: Fallout 76, Total War Warhammer 2, Middle-earth Shadow of War, Glass Masquerade Origins, Loom, and Heroes Hour Horus. This is in addition to the various free in-game loot offers that Prime Gaming runs regularly, okay? So, basically, if you're not familiar with Prime Gaming, if you already have a Prime subscription, Amazon Prime, you get access to free games and in-game content on a monthly basis. So these are the games that are free right now. Go hop on Amazon Prime Gaming. You can just basically click and add those games to your library, but you have to do that. You have to go in there and obtain those games. Sometimes you have to connect to other accounts, whether it be like Origin or Ubisoft accounts, things like that, to officially obtain the games for free. But then they're part of your library forever, and they're free games. So if you do already have an Amazon Prime account, then there's, in my opinion, no reason why you shouldn't just go and grab access or go grab these games for free, right? Free games. It's good stuff. So go get this. All right. While we're talking about free games, am I logged in here? Let's go ahead and stay on that topic for a moment. That's not what I wanted. Go back to store. There we go. So, until tomorrow, you can still get Runbow and Drone Racing League for free. Okay, on Epic Games. After tomorrow morning, about we're talking like 26 hours from now, I think. You will be able to get Rising Hell and Slain Back from Hell. They're getting into this like kind of horror vibe thing, a little bit Halloween kind of stuff. So these are the games you can get for free right now on Epic. These are the games that you can get starting tomorrow. Okay, so free games. Look, what I will say is, even if you don't, and I'm not promoting these platforms and stuff necessarily. What I'm promoting here is people to get access to free games. People to be able to enjoy the world that I love so much, which is gaming, and Epic is really, really good about giving away roughly 2 free games every single week, and even more than that during certain times of the year, like holiday seasons and stuff. So, even if you don't game on PC, I'm sure you've got a mobile device around somewhere or something where you can just create an Epic account. You can hop on here every week, and you can just start collecting these games for free. That way, if you end up becoming a PC gamer in the future or whatever, you'll have a library of games just waiting on you to play. It's an option. It's a thought, right? Consider it. But these are the titles for free now for the next day, and then these will be the ones that you can start grabbing tomorrow. Okay, guys. Last article I have for today. If anybody has anything to add that I have missed today or previously for video gaming news, let me know and we'll address it before we move on to Dead Space finale today, okay? Sony's failure to announce new PS5 games, Overwatch 2 free to play, and Immortality Love. Okay, so we've hit on some of this already. This is like an all-encompassing kind of thing here. The big thing I was looking at was this first one, which was Sony's failure to announce new PS5 games. Mum's the word. I think if I was going to make up a list of PlayStation games, I'd come up with something a bit more exciting than that one that leaked. So my suspicion is that it's true. Heck, there's only really 2 things on it that haven't been leaked by something else already anyway. There are no superstar games like more Bloodborne or a new Uncharted, but the teased games could be good. Who doesn't want more survival horror? What I don't get, though, is why Sony hasn't announced any of these. If there's one company in the world that hasn't been shy about announcing games years before they're out, usually with a showy pre-rendered trailer, it's Sony. Heck, I'd say that much of the early success of the PS4 was precisely because they kept doing that, so why stop now? They've got an open goal at the moment, with Microsoft not releasing or talking about anything new, so why are they suddenly holding back? Because Microsoft won't be like that forever. Once their new acquisitions start rolling out their games, Sony will have some real competition for the first time in a long while. Right now, Sony should be getting everyone excited about their upcoming slate, but they're not doing anything at all. They're just getting fans angry at not saying anything and making ordinary casual gamers forget they even exist. Um, I'm not going to read this whole. This is a lot of stuff in this article. I'm going to let everybody take a look at this if you want. We're pretty deep into the news segment already, so I'm going to sum it up. And that was the big thing I wanted to see was what they were talking about with Sony's failure to announce new PS5 games. I'm just going to contribute my own kind of thought here, and I think I mean I've said it before here recently. A lot of what I'm seeing from Sony and PlayStation is a bit off-putting, to be honest, especially in comparison to what I see coming out from Microsoft, Xbox, and what those two have always been a bit in competition as far as console wars. Nintendo's always there too, but Nintendo's got kind of their own thing going. That Nintendo's always got their fan base and isn't necessarily having a huge competition with either of the other consoles over trying to win people over. Nintendo's always got their place, but Sony and Xbox seem to have more of this, competition thing going, and they always have, in my perception, anyways. And I've traditionally been more of a Sony fan, but a lot of what I'm seeing as of recent is having me gravitate much more alongside what Xbox is providing as a consumer and as a fan of gaming. So I don't really know what's up. I find it funny how desperately hard Sony is trying to stop the acquisition of Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. In large part because I see Microsoft doing, or Xbox especially, doing so many other things better than what Sony is doing. And I think that Sony definitely sees that acquisition as going to be a huge blow to them. But I don't think they're doing anything to help themselves, really, to be honest. So, I don't know. I guess that's kind of my take on it right now. I feel like a lot of what I see from Sony is they're not trying to be progressive in the space. They want to just hold true to what they've been doing for a long time, and just trying to. They seem more greedy than anything else right now. Sony does to me. They seem very greedy. They don't seem passionate about providing anything additional to their player base or anything like that. Even to the point of this whole PlayStation Stars stuff that came out that was supposed to be a beneficial thing to players that just played on their platform, and then you hear about the fact that basically the higher tier people that on the PlayStation Stars got better access to support. What is that, dude? That's insane. Cater to it's basically like a cater to the rich kind of thing. I don't know. It's really weird. So I don't know. In my opinion, Microsoft's doing some really great things, and Sony is falling. They're failing in a lot of areas for just what I perceive as a fan of gaming. So we'll see how that progresses, but that's my take on it. And that's the news. That's the news. Random mode time, by the way. Get those in there. See if anybody can win a sub. See if anybody can win a sub. Nice, Reject. What's up, buddy? How are you, Reject? So that's the news. That's the news for today, guys. Thanks. I know it was a little bit long today, but we had a lot of articles and we had some good talks too. So, appreciate you guys and everybody that was part of the news segment today and everybody that's part of this community. You guys rock. I appreciate you very much. We're going to move on to our Dead Space finale on impossible difficulty, first playthrough. And, we're going to get that taken care of. And we'll do we'll start Dead Space 2 tomorrow. I want a clean slate. I've got some stuff to work on. We did a really long stream yesterday. I didn't get to work on some stuff last night that I wanted to, and I've got some stuff going on this afternoon too. But we're gonna finish up Dead Space today. Probably play a little bit of Shatterline just to chill, and then we'll start Dead Space 2 tomorrow. Okay. But if anybody is viewing this content on YouTube, you're enjoying what we do here with video gaming news, see what you can do about coming and hanging out with myself and the rest of this amazing community when we go live at 6 o'clock a.m. CST every single day. And I don't know. Other than that, you guys just stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another, and I will catch everybody tomorrow morning for October 6th edition of Video Gaming News. All right.